Hey guys, welcome to the stream. How we doing today? You know what? We don't need this. Alright, so I had a couple thoughts from yesterday's stream. But let's get back into it first. So the guy that's in the bookshop, he keeps calling us stranger. Oh, hey Benji. I wonder if we had our ring, if he wouldn't call us stranger anymore. But what's this?
Alexander doesn't remember that sign being on the wall before. He decides to take a closer look.
I didn't see that before.
It's a proclamation. It reads, "Citizens rejoice, announcing the royal wedding and coronation of Wazir Abdul al-Hazred and Princess Kasima.
Uh-oh.
For reasons of security, the wedding will not be open to the public. Long live the new king and queen of the land of the Green Isles." Alexander feels his stomach turn at the thought of the dread event. If he doesn't do something soon, Kasima will be another man's wife.
Interesting.
Alexander promises himself that he will not go home until he has determined what Kasima's feelings are for him, and if she needs his help.
So, yeah, the guy in the bookshop here.
Hello? Now.
The fellow in the chair seems to want to be left alone.
What if we put a book down? No, I don't want to read it. Here.
The bookshop owner went to quite a bit of trouble to get rid of that book. Alexander doesn't want to just leave it behind in the shop. The bookshop owner would probably not appreciate any... An odd-looking man is reading in the stuffed chair. He wears a vest, balloon-style pants, and pointed shoes. There's something deliberately silly about the man, as though he were a...
Yeah, so I wonder if the jester needed a ring. The ring. So we might have gone too far if we can't talk to him. Alright, so let's magic map it over to the cliffs. Just hope we didn't do something we can't reverse.
Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander feels a strange pull.
They're already here.
So, you have chosen to come back and face the catacombs when you could have escaped. I admit I am surprised. You are either a complete idiot or vain enough to think yourself invincible.
And you are far wiser, I suppose, to leave a maiden to die? To not fight this plague on your own people?
Bravery and suicide are two different things, human. You will have a chance to renounce your choice soon enough when you lay trembling under the Minotaur's hooves.
We shall see. Thanks for the escort.
We only escort you to your death. May the fates make it quick so that you do not have to scream long.
Huh.
The catacomb's entrance door is locked from the outside by the Winged One's guards. It seems that leaving the catacombs by that door is not an option. Alexander examines the stone shelf and the ancient bones, but finds nothing except the dust of the grave. Niches in the wall form stone burial beds. Ancient bones lie crumbling on the unyielding rock.
Alright, let's go that way. I guess let's go back and save. Ow! Don't bite me. Stop nipping at me.
Niches in the wall form stone burial beds.
Benji.
Ancient bones lie crumbling on the unyielding rock. The wall...
Alright, so we can probably make a map of this place. So the entrance was here. And we could go right. Uh-oh.
Alexander hears the distant sounds of a wild animal somewhere in the maze of rooms.
Uh-oh.
An image of a rose has been carved into that tile. An image of a rose has been carved into that tile. That tile bears the image of a dove. That tile bears an engraving of a crown.
Okay, what if we step on that?
Alexander feels the tile he's standing on shift beneath his feet.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so that one's not a good one.
Tickets up. Next.
3 spikes and you're out.
Restore. Let's try this way. Okay, so this way it goes straight across.
Alexander hears the distant sounds of...
Straight across and up. Let's see what's straight across. There's a rat.
As he walks through the doorway, Alexander gets a very bad feeling about this room.
Okay, so that's bad.
Next.
Don't just want...
Okay.
Alexander hears the distant sounds of a wild animal somewhere in the maze of rooms.
There's a bat now. You alright? Yeah, let's go up. Okay. This one should be a straightaway. Yeah. So this is just a loop. So let's try up again, and we'll go right at the next one. Alright, let's try right. Okay, it's a straightaway. Okay, we've got it down and then up. Let's try down.
As he walks through the doorway,
another-
Alexander gets a very bad feeling about this room.
Tickets up. Next.
Don't just want...
Okay. Let's go up. Can we take the skull?
Alexander picks up the skull. Alexander is carrying a human skull. Alexander doesn't want to disturb that skeleton. He seems to have all his bones intact, and it'd be a shame to break up the set.
Oh, this one.
Alexander doesn't want to disturb. The remains of several unfortunate souls haunt the room. These bones seem more recent than the ancient catacomb bones that Alexander has seen so far. Perhaps the lost souls cannot hear Alexander.
Alright, let's go back, I guess.
Alexander hears the distant sounds of a wild animal somewhere in the maze of rooms.
So let's trial and error the symbols, I guess. What about...
Alexander feels the tile he's standing on shift beneath his feet.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so the rows and the...
Tickets up. Next.
So I guess let's try
3
the
spikes and you're out.
We probably should have saved after we got the skull.
Alexander feels the tile he's standing on shift beneath his feet.
Uh-oh. Tickets up. Next.
3 spikes and you're out.
Alright, let's get the skull.
Alexander picks up the skull.
Alright, so let's save in this next room.
Two heads are better than one, but Alexander is already carrying the skull. Alexander hears the distant sound.
Alright.
Using that on the tiles would accomplish nothing.
Okay. So we have a 5x4 room. Okay, so this one's okay.
Alexander feels
That
the
one is
tile
not.
he's standing on shift beneath his feet.
Uh-oh. Tickets up. Next.
3 spikes and you're out.
So we can stand here. But how does that, like, all of these don't work? Oh.
Alexander feels the tile he's standing on shift beneath his feet.
Uh-oh. Tickets up. Next.
3 spikes and you're out.
What if we step on all of those roses? that are
Alexander
diagonal.
hears the distant sound. Alexander feels the tile he's standing on shift beneath his feet.
Uh-oh.
Tickets up. Next.
3 spikes and
Alright, so there's a riddle in the book. Roses lay upon the bower. So these roses here. Scythe for he who cuts the flower. A crown, a dove, most noble race. Thy bones sacred. Nice. So it's like that, and then that, and that. Cool. All right. So now we have a triple. Let's try left.
Ah, you were a human only and not the monster himself. I heard you coming and thought you were the beast. Did my father send you here to save me?
Why, yes, he did, but how did you...
Hush, there is no time. I think I have discovered the Minotaur's secret exit from the catacombs. Follow me and we'll both be saved.
Nice.
That's odd. Where did she... Go!
Tickets up. Next.
don't just wander, Alexander. Let your conscience be your guide.
Alright. So rose, rose, rose. Scythe, crown, dove, skull.
Alexander decides to make a beeline for the... Alexander feels the tile he's standing... Apparently not a good idea.
What? Okay.
Tickets up. Next.
3 spikes and you're out.
Oh, we got a shield.
Alexander takes the shield from the wall.
Let's see what that shield is.
The otherwise plain wooden shield is embellished with a silver cross.
Alright, this one, we go straight or left. Might as well save here. There's a straightaway here. It's a dead end.
Alexander finds 2 coins on the skeleton's eyes. He takes the old coins.
So most dead ends have stuff to it.
The 2 coins from the skeleton in the catacombs are extremely old and corroded.
Okay, so we have 2 coins. Go right.
It's a trap. The doors have sealed Alexander inside. And the ceiling is coming down. That shield won't protect Alexander from the crushing ceiling.
The skull and the gears.
Desperate to stop the crushing ceiling, Alexander throws a skull into the grinding gears. The skull is caught between 2 cogs. The gears shriek and shudder. The skull begins to bulge.
Uh-oh!
With a sudden lurch, the ceiling completes its descent.
Yikes!
And presses Alexander into the floor like a bug under a heel. That skull wasn't strong enough to endure the pressure, and neither is Alexander's.
Tickets up. Next.
Alexander never was much good at squash.
Alright, so we need something that would be good for maybe the shield?
Alexander finds
Alright,
Alexander hears the distant sounds of a...
Crap.
And the ceiling is... The shield is too large to fit in those gears.
Welp.
There's no need for extra light here. That would never hold those grinding gears. That won't save it. The doors have been sealed shut. Alexander doesn't have time to try to force them open. The book would never hold those gears. It would just be ripped to shreds. There's no reason to use that on the skull. The coins from the dead man's eyes give Alexander an uneasy feeling. That would never hold those...
Alright, looks like we're dead. So let's go back to Tinder.
Good day. The pawn shop owner is a mysterious fellow.
Kinda wanna go back further. Like, what if we missed stuff? Because we went too far. We can probably go back. Let's restore to this. Okay, so let's not go up there. Let's go back down.
Alexander climbs carefully down the long face of the logic cliffs.
Whoa, wait.
Oh no, Alexander...
Whoa! Ow! Hey!
Alright, so we know what happens when we go up the hill, so let's not do that.
Alexander pulls... Alexander feels a...
That paper isn't there yet.
Good day, Prince Alexander.
Alright, let's give him the nightingale.
Would you mind if I
Of course. Alexander looks...
I believe I'll take the tinderbox.
Very good, Prince.
Thank you.
Alexander takes a...
Alright. Let's see what's in the cave.
Alexander pulls out his magic... Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Alright.
Alexander...
Let's go in.
Alexander crawls through the small opening in the rock. Alexander finds himself in a dark cave. Alexander doesn't need to use that on the opening in the... Alexander takes the candle from his tinderbox and uses the flint in the box to light it.
Nice.
Alexander crawls through the opening in the rock. The lighting in this part of the cave is better. Alexander extinguishes the candle's flame and places it back in his pack.
Okay.
Alexander sees nothing to do with the rocky walls of the cave. The window in the rock is too small for Alexander to fit through.
What is it, though?
A natural window-like opening in the rock provides a view to the outside world. A peppermint plant grows on the window's ledge.
Ooh.
Alexander takes a few leaves from the plant. As he does so, a strong smell of peppermint is released. Ah!
Nice.
Alexander crawls back into the first room of the cave. Alexander can't see a thing.
Let's use the lantern again.
Alexander takes the candle from his tinderbox and uses the flint in the box to light it. Alexander crawls back through the passage to the top of the cliffs.
Okay. There it goes.
Alexander climbs... Oh no!
Whoa!
Hey.
Ow! Hey!
Alright.
Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Let's trade back to the Mockingbird.
Good day.
Alright, give him the...
Would you mind if I traded this in?
Of course, Prince
Alexander looked.
That mechanical...
Very...
Thank you.
We'll go back this way. So we gotta figure out what we need for those gears in the labyrinth.
Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander feels a strange...
Okay. Smell, taste, sound, feel, and sight. Right.
Alexander here.
I've just old house.
Alexander.
Alright, here.
Listen.
We get to dance again.
Alexander winds the tin nightingale
All right,
and
everybody
plays
ready?
it for the gnome with the monumental ears.
A nose is not a way to
Alright,
taste.
taste. Give him a lick.
Alexander holds the mint up.
Grumflump knows it. Trilly.
Alexander holds the rep.
He already
Oh,
knows.
real better, never fatter. Vision.
Alright.
Alexander pours.
By all that's beauty.
Alexander.
Okay. So let's do this stuff again. Boom, 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 boom.
Wow. Hiya, gorgeous. Oh, drat! Hey, don't touch that!
Alexander snatches the scrap of parchment, curious to see what's written on it.
Love.
the wind.
Hey, hands off the goods there, son.
Oh, sorry. Hello?
No, there's no one here.
Hello?
No!
There's no reason to use that on a...
Alright. It's a lot of books, actually, now that I look at the background. I didn't notice the stick here before. I noticed this log here.
Alexander takes a bottle of milk from the milkweed bush. Apparently.
Alright, let's take...
Hey, what do you think?
Okay,
Alexander picks up...
what's this?
Is that lettuce growing in the garden? It looks a little chilled. Why?
Wait, what?
A patch of iceberg lettuce grows in the garden.
Iceberg lettuce. I wonder if that would work for our...
Alexander picks a head of iceberg lettuce.
the boiling lake thing.
Ye gads! Is that cold?
Unless Alexander is mistaken, those plants must be baby's tears. Those grapes look awfully sour. A colorful array of snapdragons stand guard to one side of the path. The wallflowers look terribly shy. A curiously speckled gate marks one end of the garden.
Excuse me, what land lies beyond?
What land? Chessboard land, you knave.
I see. And is Chessboard Land part of the land of the Green Isles?
It is the home of the red and white queens, rulers of the Isle of Wonder, fairest of the islands that owe loyalty to the king of the land of the Green Isles.
But perhaps not for long.
What do you mean?
What is the purpose of unity with the great king and queen dead? The princess is worth serving, but the feud with the other isles is strong.
Uh-oh.
I must insist, Your Highness. I shall send the lump of coal to the Vizier and the Princess as a present for their wedding, and that's the end of it.
Wedding?
And I suppose you'll leave me with only this stupid spoiled egg to send, Your Highness. I want to impress the new king and queen of the realm as much as you do. As queen of this island, I have every right to that lump of coal.
Who isn't queen of this isle? The lump of coal is in my possession. Therefore, I shall do as I please with it. Besides, there's nothing wrong with that spoiled egg.
The egg, though delightfully spoiled, is not nearly so valuable as the lump of coal, and you know it. Your Highness always got to carry the singing stone. It's not fair that you get the
Singing
coal,
stone.
too.
That doesn't count. The singing stone was stolen by that horrid beast. I should get to keep the coal just because my stone was stolen.
It wasn't your stone. It belonged to the Isle of Wonder treasury. Your Highness always thinks that everything is hers.
Excuse me, my good man, but could you settle an argument for us?
Which of us should get to carry the coal and which the egg? Remember, white is the color of deserving truth and virtue.
Quiet, your Highness, and let him make up his own mind. I, for one, shall be more proper, and not even mention the fact that red is the color of love.
Why don't you send both gifts?
I'm sorry, Your Majesties. I'm partial to both red and white, but I'm afraid that I don't know how to solve your problem. One of you will just have to be gracious and allow the other the lump of coal.
What a ridiculously stupid idea.
Quite ludicrous.
He was a lot of help, wasn't he?
Oh, yes. Obviously a man of high intelligence.
Hey, got some cloth here.
The lump of coal goes much better with my gown anyway. Black and red are imperial colors.
That's the silliest thing I ever heard. Red does not go with anything, being much too self-conscious. White is the perfect accompaniment to any color.
Let's take that.
Alexander picks up the Red Queen's scarf.
Nice.
The scarf is made of red silk. Alexander is carrying a full head of a queer-looking lettuce made of ice. The lettuce is rapidly melting.
Oh.
Alexander already has a
Alright, let's get to that pool then.
Alexander pulls. Alexander feels a strange.
Alright. Iceberg lettuce.
Hoping to cool down the boiling pond, Alexander throws in a head of iceberg lettuce.
Nice.
The pond's water slowly stops boiling, cooled by the ice. It still looks hot, but bearable.
Can we use this to get the lamp down?
Alexander doesn't want to alter the forest. Alexander decides to brave the steaming pond.
Ouch! Ow! Ooh, 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 ouch!
The pond is no longer boiling, but it's hardly bathwater.
Nice.
Alexander takes the old hunter's lamp from the tree.
Okay. So, let's save. We'll call this one Beast Pond.
As Alexander continues down the path, he gets the strange feeling that he's being watched.
Come on over here and see what I'm doing with these flowers. Never mind that stone fella on top of the gate. He won't hurt you any. He's just there to scare you.
Uh-huh.
Alexander picks up the brick.
A brick might be enough to jam the cogs.
You aren't gonna listen to me, are you? Well, we'll just see about that.
Yeah.
That's odd. The gardener just disappeared.
Pretty much everyone in this area is... Okay, I've got...
There's no point in using an object on itself. Alexander is carrying an old, battered hunter's lamp. The lamp is empty. Alexander rubs the lamp, but nothing happens.
Okay. It's like, is there going to be a genie?
Alexander pulls...
Let's go
Alexander
back to
feels a
Isle of
strange pulling sensation.
Let's see if that lamp seller's back. Nope. Alright. That's there now.
It's a proclamation. It reads, "Citizens rejoice." Alexander feels...
Let's see if he'll talk now.
Hello? Now.
Good day, sir. Is there anything you can tell me about the land of the Green Isles?
I'm sorry, but I have no time for idle conversation. I'm too worried about the princess.
There's no reason...
We might have to... I think I remember befriending him with a ring. With the ring, and I think the ring is gone. I'm gonna see, can we get the ring back? Yeah, I don't know.
Good day.
Assorted travelogues and biographies are arranged on these shelves.
So,
Alexander isn't interested in the cookbooks on that shelf. He's had an aversion to cooking ever since he experimented with a certain cookie recipe involving cat hair and fish oil. Right now, Alexander is too involved with the journey he's on to take time to read about the journeys of others. Alexander is not interested in those self-help books. Thinking of Cosima, Alexander decides to leaf through one of the volumes of love poetry. He reads, "Thy hair, thy lips, thy beauteous face, and all thy studied female grace have won for thee anon a place within this broken breast." Not bad. And another. "Upon the shore the lilies bend, untouched by worldly care, where shadow they her earthly bed, oh, that she were not there." Yikes. And another. "What was it when I looked at you? What power has chained me through and through, and binds my heart with links so tight I cannot live without the sight of you? What nameless thing has captured me, and made me powerless to flee? What thing is it without a name that brings my mind e'er back the same to thee? The name of love cannot apply. Its commonness does not decry the haunted, hunted, painful cry that my heart makes for you, that e'er my soul eternal makes for you."
A little close to home, that one.
Alexander returns the love poem book to the shelf.
hey.
Alexander picks up the fallen page. It's the love poem he particularly liked. It must have fallen out of the poetry book.
I see that old volume has lost another page. You may keep it if you like, sir.
Nice.
I have glued the stubborn thing back in place 2 times already.
I do rather like it. Thank you, merchant.
Alright, I gotta say good morning to my wife. I'll be right back. Alright, so I think I really don't want to do this, but I think I need to go back and get my signet ring back. But let's try things out first. So
Alexander has a love poem from a book in the bookshop.
what's this book here?
How much for that book on the counter, merchant?
It is a fine book, is it not? I obtained it from the estate of the one and only magician this kingdom has ever had. Poofed himself into an aardvark in the end, or so I heard. I never found the spells all that useful myself, but then I lead a boring life. I tell you what, if you can find another rare book, something a bit more marketable, I might be willing to exchange the spell book for it.
Huh. Alright, so in order to go back and get my ring, we're gonna need to do like the whole cliff thing again. I think we're gonna have to do a lot again. But let's try some things out first. Let's see if the bird will take
There's no reason to use that.
the love poem.
Alexander holds out the love poem, hoping that the bird will deliver it to the same place she took the ring, in the chance that the receiver might truly be Cosima. The nightingale swoops down, grabs the love poem, and takes it towards the castle.
Alright, hopefully this will get us a ring, actually. That would be great. Alright, let's go back and see. That's not a ring, damn
The
it.
nightingale has returned from her flight with Alexander's poem. She flutters off her branch and drops a piece of parchment at Alexander's feet. It's a note.
Dearest Alexander, I cannot believe you are here, my friend. Please, please be careful. Abdul isn't about to let anyone interfere with his plans. Watch out for Abdul's genie, Alexander, and do not do anything rash. I am not without resources, and I will prevail if I can only find some small means of defense. Do nothing to try to get to me. You must not be endangered again for my sake. Greatly in your family's debt, Cosima.
Alexander's hand trembles as he reads the note. For the first time in his long search, he has heard her voice again, if only in writing. No words of love, only friendly concern. Friend. Is the maiden merely shy, or does she regard him only as a brother? Alexander is carrying a message from his beloved Cosima.
We've got so much progress. Let's see what our saves are. Okay, so I think it was... Alright, I guess let's save first, so we can go back. Alternate, no ring. Alright, so that way we can just... Alright, so Cliff. Do we have the pearl or the ring? No, we have the ribbon. Okay. What about wonder? We have the pearl. Okay.
Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander feels a...
Alright, let's go do things that we have done already.
Good.
Alright, so give him the pearl.
I found this large pearl. Might it be valuable? Oh, I'm glad you didn't sell it. I'm a bit attached to it, I'm afraid.
Of course you are.
Okay, so we have the ring. Okay, let's see what happens if it. Let's see if he's there. He is.
Hello.
Cool.
now.
Why would Alexander want to offer the strange man?
Okay.
Good day, sir. Is there anything you can tell me about the land of the Green Isles?
I'm sorry, but I have no time for idle conversation. I'm too worried about the princess.
Excuse me again, sir. You mentioned the princess.
I told you I'm not interested in talking to strangers.
Excuse me again, sir. You mentioned the princess.
I told...
Okay.
Determined to learn more about the strange man's relationship with the princess, Alexander shows the man his insignia ring and formally introduces himself.
I'm sorry to insist, but my name is Alexander of Daventry, and...
Did you just
I
say...
appreciate the offer of the ring, Alexander, but I'm afraid I'm already spoken. Daventry? Where have I heard of Daventry? Flying flit mice. You must be Prince Alexander. Cosima told me about you when she arrived home. How came you here?
Why, by a ship, now wrecked upon the sand. But you know Cosima? She truly spoke of me?
Yes, I saw her briefly when she first returned home. She mentioned a prince to me, Prince Alexander of Daventry. I'm afraid that was before she was told about her parents' deaths. You see, she arrived home a few weeks too late. The king and queen thought they'd never see her again. It is said they died of heartbreak. I'm afraid she's blamed herself.
What a terrible homecoming. If we had only known.
Terrible indeed, poor thing. Everyone in the kingdom seems to despair with her these days. The streets are silent.
Where is she now?
The princess is sequestered in mourning. It's a rather dated tradition, and not required, but the Wazir says she insisted out of respect.
I see. You've yet to say who you are, and how you know the princess.
I? Oh, pardon me. My name is Jallo. I am clown to the royal court, and had been since the marriage of Cosima's parents, King Caliphon and Queen Alaria. Oh, those were the happy days. The pair of them were so full of joy and life, so in love. And Cosima's birth. It would be hard to explain how long they had waited, how they had hoped for a child. I mean, she was such a charming little thing, smart as a whip, kind and sweet. Oh, she means everything to this kingdom, Alexander, and to me. I'm so terribly worried about her.
About her grief over her parents, you mean?
Well, the truth is, I do not trust the Wazir or his plans for Cosima. I'm still living at the Castle of the Crown as court clown, his clown. But it is more to keep my ear to the ground than out of loyalty. I wish I knew what the princess thinks these days. If only I could find Sing Sing, Cosima's pet nightingale. I might be able to send the princess a message. As it is, I must wait for the end of her seclusion. Now I'm afraid I must hurry back to the castle. I'll try to return to the bookshop again later.
Thank you for speaking with me, Jallo. I hope we meet again soon.
Cool. Alright, so we did it. We did that. Alright, let's go through the stuff we've already done.
Thinking of what? Alexander.
Alright.
Alexander sees... Alexander. It's the love...
I see that...
I do... How much for that book on the counter, merchant?
It is a fine book, is it not? I tell you...
Alright, so now we probably don't need the ring, so we can send it to Cosima. Let's follow him.
Good day, Jollo. Greetings, my fine furred friends.
Damn. Okay.
The nightingale sings her crystalline song in the nightingale looks at Alexander curiously. Alexander. The nightingale swoops down. She flies off towards the castle, perhaps to Cosima.
Sing, sing.
Oh, this is new.
What have you got in your mouth, my pretty? A gold ring? Sing, sing, where did you get this? Realm of Daventry. But this is Alexander's ring. Oh, my soul, he must be here. Sing, sing, I wish you could tell me what you've seen. Is he really here, then, on this very island? Oh, if only I could leave this castle as easily as you. Take this ribbon, Sing Sing. If you know where he is, return it to him. Please be careful, Alexander. It is so dangerous, and yet I could not wish you away.
Alright, so that was different.
The little bird makes a delivery. It's a red velvet hair ribbon. Could it be? Could it possibly belong to Cosima herself?
Or am I merely wishing it were so? Oh.
Alexander sees nothing to do.
Alright, now let's give Sing Sing the love poem.
What was it when I looked at you? What name? The name of... Alexander. The nightingale swoops down, grabs the love poem.
Sing, sing, my sweet. You bring another present. Let me see. It is a poem, Sing Sing.
What was it when I looked at you? What power has chained me through and through, and binds my heart with links so tight, I cannot live without the sight of you?
Oh, Alexander. I was hoping he'd return to you. Take this to him while he waits. Hurry, my fleet one.
Let's see if this letter is different.
The little bird makes a delivery. It's a note.
Dearest Alexander, I cannot believe you are here, my friend. Please, please be careful. Abdul isn't about to let anyone interfere with his plans. Watch out for Abdul's genie, Alexander, and do not do anything rash. I am not without resources, and I will prevail if I can only find some small means of defense. Do nothing to try to get to...
Alexander's hand trembles as he reads the note. For the first time in his long search, he has heard her voice again, if only in writing. No words of love, only friendly concern. Friend. Is the maiden merely shy, or does she regard him only as a brother?
Alright. Let's go to the Isle of the Beast. Or the cliffs, actually.
Alexander pulls... Alexander feels a strain. Alexander picks the flower.
Alright, we'll do the cliff probably off stream since we've already done it.
Alexander takes the feather.
And we'll go from there.
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
Alright, so I think we have everything
Alexander
we need for Isle
feels...
of Wonder. Yeah. We have smell, taste, sound, feel. Yeah. Alright, let's do this one more time.
Alexander here. Alexander.
Alright. Sorry if this is the boy. Which one is it? Okay, it's here.
Alexander winds the tin.
Sorry, Benji.
A nose is not a way to spy. My ears cannot be told a lie. A nightingale is all there be. No man is near, and so say me. Peace.
I do like this challenge. This is a cool one.
Alexander. Grump.
Grump jump.
Trilly dilly.
Alexander holds the rabbit foot out for the gnome with the huge hands.
Edna?
Be all you mad? What aileth thee? A bunny can't trill merrily. Old Bill Barrett.
Alright, and then the display.
Alexander.
By all that's beauteous, fair, and sightly, 4 morons do I sleep with
Alright.
Alexander did it. He's fooled the guards.
Alright, so we did it again. Let's save. We'll do make sense. We'll just save along the same things. We'll talk to the Black Widow again.
Don't. Hey, don't.
And then take
Alexander snatches the
Don't know what
scrap
that
of
does, but
The wind blows the scrap of paper from Alexander's hand, but he remembers what it said well enough.
alright. I don't know what the caterpillar wants, so we'll leave him alone for now. We'll get the milk bottle. A bench.
Alexander... Apparently the dogwood tree...
Oh, it's a dogwood. Alright, we're gonna take the tomato. Actually, let's go through here first. so we talked to these guys before.
What? What do you...
And then here come the queens. Alright, so we'll get her thing.
I'm...
The lump of coal goes...
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Alexander picks up the...
Okay, cool. So we're mostly back, except for the cliffs.
Can I pass into your fair land?
Heavens, no! No humans allowed in chessboard land. Never have been, never will be.
Interesting. Alright, so I don't know how to get the hole in the wall. Can we pick grapes?
Alexander gets closer to the sour grapes.
Back off, bucko!
Oh, excuse me.
Alexander picks a head of iceberg.
Alright, cool. So we'll get the iceberg lettuce, we'll get the rotten tomato.
Ye gads! Is that cold?
Hey, what do you think you're doing there? Get your hands off me! Hey!
Alexander picks up rotten tomato and puts him away.
What are these?
Alexander is standing in a delectable garden. Nestled in the bright green grass are colorful plants growing in orderly clusters. Some of their curious faces peer up at Alexander from the sides of the path. The garden ends at a speckled gate.
Okay. Let's teleport to
Alexander
the
pulls
beast
out
for that, since we have the iceberg lettuce. Excuse me.
Alexander feels a
Get the brick. Which we'll probably need for the catacombs. Alright. Iceberg lettuce.
hoping to cool down the...
Nice.
The pond's water slowly stops boiling, cooled by the ice. It still looks hot.
Ooh,
Alexander decides to break.
Ouch! Ow!
The pond is no...
Alright, let's get the lamp.
Alexander takes the old...
Cool.
As Alexander continues down the path, he gets the strange feeling that he's being watched.
Come on over here and see what I'm doing with these flowers. Never mind that stone fella on top of the gate. He won't hurt you.
Uh-huh.
Alexander picks up the brick. Alexander closely examines the stone wall, but doesn't see anything other than gray bricks. Alexander closely examines... A stone archer sits atop the lintel of the gate like a silent guardian. His stone bow is tightly drawn and fitted with a single stone arrow.
We could use the shield for that.
The statue to the left of the gate shows a man kneeling down with his spear, as though waiting for a target.
Huh.
Come on through, I say. I can show you a path through the forest. You aren't gonna listen to me, are you? Well, we'll just see about that.
That's odd.
All right. I guess we're mostly caught up now.
Alexander pulls out his magic. Alexander feels a...
Alright, let's see if what we did has activated anything. Like, is Jalo back? Yes.
Jalo, how fare you? And what news have you from the castle?
Prince Alex, how I fare is close to boiling. Have you seen the wedding proclamations around the village? I've heard rumors of the wedding, of course, but I didn't want to believe it, and I never thought it would be so soon.
Cosima. Married. Oh, it is an unpleasant thing to swallow, friend. If only I knew Cosima wished it. Tell me about the Wazir, Jalo.
The Wazir? Now there's a dangerous subject. His name is Abdul al-Hazred. He came to the kingdom 15 years ago. The king was fascinated by his knowledge and his fine-sounding ideas. It didn't take long for al-Hazred to convince the king to trust him with the minor problems of daily government. You see, Caliph had a wife and a new daughter he wanted to spend time with.
He
Al-Hazred
wants to
became
marry
Wazir.
a girl that grew up.
And now?
He watched
Well,
have...
he's had his eye on
That's
Cosima
crazy.
ever since she was a young girl. And she is the only thing between him and the throne.
Do you think he means to harm her?
Oh, I honestly don't know. I think he'd rather keep her as wife. But whatever his plans for the princess, he will use her to his best advantage. That's his way.
Perhaps he has charmed her. Perhaps she cares for him now.
The Wazir is capable of anything. And Cosima must be vulnerable and lonely right now. Still, she has always instinctively distrusted him. Cosima has a good head on her shoulders. I'd be surprised if she's truly fallen for his words of love. I must return to the castle, Prince Alex, and you to your wanderings. May we both fare well.
Your candy dish is empty.
I am sorry, sir, but I have no more mints. Somebody has eaten them all.
Well, get some more then.
I fear that is impossible. Without the ferry, I can no longer get imports from the other islands, and we do not grow mint extract on the Isle of the Crown.
Oh, I hate not getting what I want.
The mint dish is empty.
Would you be interested in making a trade for this, merchant?
I have too many lamps already, thanks.
Would you mind if I traded this?
Of course.
All right,
Alexander looks...
So...
I'll
let's try
take the flute.
The flute? Very good, Prince Alex. May its music always be sweet. Feel free to trade it back at any time.
Thank you.
So we know that the mint extract can be used here. Let's go check out the ferry. I wonder what's going on with this person. It crashed. Were we too fast? That's annoying. How far back did that put us? Damn.
Alexander takes a...
What? But
What do you...
The only shame is like having to watch these long cutscenes again.
The air.
The lump of
That's the...
Alexander...
Alright. Let's get the iceberg.
Alexander picks it.
Ye gap! Hey, what do you think you're doing there? Get your hands off me! Hey!
Alexander picks...
Okay. Once again.
Alexander... Alexander feels a... Hoping to cool down the... Alexander...
Ouch! Ouch!
The pond. Alex...
Get the brick.
As Alex...
Come on.
There's nothing... Alexander...
You aren't gonna listen.
That's odd.
So we just gotta save often. Alright, so save Beast Pond. And then
Alexander pulled. Alexander feels a.
Since we know the puzzles, we can probably get this done pretty quick. Let's pull this out. Alright.
There appears to be some.
R-I-S.
Huge blocks of stone. Alexander stares with one.
Oh wait, we should probably, before we get all the way up, let's go trade in for the lantern.
Alexander feels a.
Yuck. Well,
Alright, so no mint. I think when we use it for the census thing, that's when it triggers.
Would you mind?
Of course. Alexander looked.
I believe I'll thank you.
Alright.
Jello, how fare you? And what news have you from the castle?
Prince Alex, how I fare is close to boiling. Have you seen the wedding proclamations around the village?
Cosima, tell me. And do you...
Alright. We're back. Let's save again. Let's, we have the Tinder now, so let's do that.
Alexander can't do.
There we go. Let's check on the ferryman.
oh, it's you. Come on in. How goes it, Alexander?
What else can you tell me about the land?
The Isle of the Beast is pretty, but unfortunately, you can't get very far onto the island.
What else can you
The inhabitants of the Isle of the Sacred Mountain are the most gorgeous creatures you'll ever see. If you ever get to see them, that is.
What else can you...
The Castle of the Crown sure is a beauty. She's the finest palace ever...
What else can you...
Some say that the land of the Green Isles is near the edge of the world, and that the deadly currents are a result of a magnetism that sucks life from this world to the next. Of course, that's just silly talk.
What else can...
Let's see. The Isle of Wonder's a lovely spot. A bit crazy, mind you. Gotta have a good sense of humor to enjoy a tour there.
Alright, so nothing.
Alexander doesn't want to take anything from...
Well,
You're always welcome.
Nothing new. Let's use the map.
There's no reason to use that. Alexander pulls out... Alexander feels a...
Let's go up the mountain.
whoa, wait.
We should probably save. So cliffs. Alright, this one.
Alexander examines the...
Master of Languages will. What was that again? Soar? I think it was.
The stone beneath Alexander's feet trembled.
Whoa, wait. Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a... Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Okay. So this one, I think it was
Whoa.
4, 1, 2.
Whoa.
Alexander examines the...
4, 1, 2.
The stone beneath Alex...
Whoa.
The last one is ascend.
Whoa, wait. Whoa. Whoa, wait a... Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa. Must have misclicked.
Tickets up. Next.
That wasn't a very logical step.
Alright, cliff.
Whoa.
Should have waited a minute. Yeah, apparently.
Alexander examines
How are you,
the
pile of
strange
junk mail?
etchings and...
S-O-A-R.
The stone beneath...
I'm sad we have to do this again, but I wanted my ring back because I thought that that's how we could talk to Jallo, and I was right. Midna, be careful. But I'm glad it's just about caught up.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa!
Saving after every step? Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Whoa!
Dude, he's like having to balance on this. I would not want to do this like in real life.
Whoa! Whoa!
I never fell the first time I tried doing this. Alright, let's save.
Whoa!
Alexander
4, 1, 2.
The stone beneath Alexander's
Whoa!
I don't like that you can accidentally lock yourself out of content.
Whoa!
Or out of puzzles, I guess.
Whoa!
Like, we got into the catacombs and had the restore save because we couldn't get out of the trap.
Whoa!
I think we have what we need now. We have a brick, but
Whoa!
it stinks. I misclicked, I guess.
Tickets up. Next.
At least we saved after all the rocks
That
came
wasn't
out.
a very logical.
Whoa! Wait a. Whoa! Wait. Whoa! Wait. Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Alright, next section we're saving. Okay, save. Good thing we did. Restore.
Whoa! Wait. Whoa! Whoa!
Alexander
The Sacred Four. Oh, shoot, I forget about this one. It's Tranquility. We're gonna have to mark these down. So Tranquility is D. I think Azure is Q? No, that was the caterpillar is Q. Air was like T? No. Air was Air was G. And Azure is O. Okay. So D O Q is here, and G.
The stone beneath...
Okay, cool.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Minna.
Whoa!
Minna. Hi.
Whoa!
Okay.
Alexander examined... The stone beneath Alexander's feet.
Okay. Let's save again. How you doing today, Pile?
Whoa! 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 Wait a...
I like that we don't... I did this perfectly the first time. Alright.
Whoa! Wait a minute. Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Okay.
Alexander finds himself
Why do you make such an effort to You could have it too. See?
Let's save.
It would be rather rude to crawl into that cave with the old woman standing right in front of it.
Alright.
All right then, stay tied to the ground like a load of lead. See if I care. You human.
Human.
How odd. The old woman just disappeared in a cloud of smoke. Perhaps those berries are even more powerful than she led Alexander to believe. Alexander climbs carefully down.
Alright. Back up we go.
Alexander arrives.
Save.
Alexander crawls.
Nice.
Alexander finds.
Nope. Tinderbox.
Alexander takes... Alexander crawls through the open... The lighting in this part of the cave is better. Alexander extinguishes the candle's flame and places it back in his pack. Alexander takes a few leaves from the plant.
Cool.
Alexander crawls back into the first room of the cave. Alexander can't see a thing. Alexander takes the candle from his tinderbox and uses the flint in the box to light it.
Alright, let's go.
Alexander crawls back through the...
Alright, now we can activate this.
Look,
I
no bit, but we...
With what trickery did you...
only...
Yes, we have...
I will...
Be warned.
I understand.
If by many of our own...
Oh, I will return.
Okay. So, now, let's go to the shopkeeper.
Alexander feels it.
Also, let's save. Progress. Is Jalo in?
Hello?
Nope.
Now,
Sorry, man. Oh,
Good day, Prince Alexander.
Alright, let's give him back the lantern. There it is. And let's take the flute, I guess. Oh, wait.
Would you mind if I...
Of course, Alexander looked...
So take the flute,
I'll
because I
take
don't
the
know anything
flute.
for a paintbrush.
The
But
flute? Very good, Prince Alex. May its music...
Thank you.
maybe we can figure out something for the flute. Alright, mint.
Would you be interested in making a trade for this, merchant?
I think not. I do not have much call for that item these days.
Huh.
The mint dish is... The pawn shop is already filled with curious things.
Okay, so we don't need the mint for that. Thought we would. Guess we can use it for the genie at some point. Okay.
Alexander pulled.
So we need the shield, I think, for the archer guy. We don't want to go to the catacombs
Alexander
yet, I don't
feels
think.
a
So let's go to Isle of Wonder. Yeah. They sent me back. I went into the catacombs in my earlier try at this game, like in terms of like earlier today, and we mapped it out. I actually have like a little map here, but we got into the trap room and the skull that we had wasn't strong enough to stop the trap from happening. I think because we have the brick now, that might do it, but I'm afraid that like we don't have enough. So I remember last night we tried giving the bottle to these cabbages, or baby's tears.
Alexander gives one of the baby's tears a bottle of milk. The other baby's tears seem to resent Alexander's gift for some reason.
Let's try soothing them to sleep.
May I have this dance?
Oh, my!
Oh, interesting. It wasn't a warning, it was more like a, hey, we'll let you prepare for the catacombs first.
Alexander stops playing the flute.
Yeah.
But the wallflowers and snapdragons continue to dance, caught up in the music and oblivious to everything around them.
Nice. Okay, so they are still crying, I guess? Oh, he went behind the wallflowers, but he can't now because they're dancing.
While the wallflowers dance, Alexander snatches the hole in the wall.
Alright. Let's see if we can catch the baby's
Alexander
tears in
has
the
no
lamp.
reason to gather tears in that lamp.
And if we take the bottle back.
What a grip. The baby is not at all willing to let go of that milk bottle.
Huh. Guess we'll pick
Alexander picks a head of
iceberg lettuce.
Ye gads!
Can we get more milk too?
Alexander takes a bottle of milk from the milk.
Nice.
Apparently, the dogwood tree
All right.
doesn't like Alexander
this like
standing
a-
that close. A stick is stuck in the middle of the swamp.
Yeah.
The fallen log has a good-sized knot or bump.
A bump in the log and a stick in the mud.
Alexander sees no point in trying to talk to that stick in the swamp. That bump on the log does not look particularly conversational to Alexander.
Huh.
What would that bump on the... Why would Alexander want to throw that at the stick? And what would a dogwood tree do with that?
I don't know. I'm just trying things. Alright, so what about this caterpillar? Do you have anything that the caterpillar could want? Maybe this paper?
There's no reason to use... Alexander should read the books if he wants to get information from them. Alexander should read the... Alexander should...
What do you think you're doing?
I'm sorry. I didn't realize these books had an owner. I'm in need of a rare book.
Ah!
No owner. All books have owners, my good man. And this book owner, bookworm to you, wouldn't part with one of his books for anything.
Isn't there something I can do for you to pay for the book?
Let's see. Do you have an itinerant clause?
No. No clauses at all, I'm afraid.
As an exception, you always should.
Don't mind oxymoron and diphthong. They're fairly limited grammatical principles, you know. Let's see. A marsh pig that does Texas?
Nope. Fresh out?
No. I'm afraid not.
A dangling participle?
I'm fresh out.
A purple fiddle whacker?
No, I don't think so. Sorry.
An idiosyncrasy, perhaps?
Afraid not.
Ha! Then what good are you?
There's more paper there now?
Wow.
Or did we just not get it this
gorgeous.
Thank you. I guess.
time? Oh. I guess...
Don't drag.
I guess in our refresh we didn't get this one.
Alexander snatches this...
Alright, so this is love. But I don't know anything about that.
The wind blows this...
Okay, so... Nothing there. So there's a few walls that maybe we can look through. Let's try going to the wall at the Isle of the Beast.
There's no reason to... Alexander
pulls out his magic map.
Alexander feels a strange...
Oh, interesting. Hello.
Hello, friend. Aren't you an odd-looking little fellow?
I'm not odd-looking. You are.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you could speak.
Speak not. Funny is, speech I am and nothing but.
You speak strangely, friend.
Strange, my speech is not. Eloquence I speak with.
But who are you? And why are you here?
Away I fly my home from. Lost I am, therefore. As my name too, can you guess not? It's what I do this branch with, and the way I speak of.
If you're lost, perhaps I can take you home.
Take me home too? Think not I do. Know you I do not.
Are you sure you don't want me to try to find your home?
Trust you I do not. Stay here I will.
What can we give him?
Would you be interested in this?
That I like not. Take it away, do.
I wonder if...
Would you be interested in this?
That I like.
No.
Would you be interested in this?
That I like.
Would you be interested in this?
That I like.
Nope.
Would you be interested?
That I like.
Would you be interested in?
That I like.
Tomato?
Would you be interested in this?
That I like.
Milk?
Would you be interested in?
That I like.
What about the hole?
Would you be interested in?
That I like.
Feather? Maybe he's ticklish?
Would you be interested in this?
That I like.
Nope. Stink? Weed?
Would you be interested?
That I like.
Nope.
Would you be interested in?
That I like.
Okay, what about the letter?
Would you be interested in this?
That I like.
No. Okay, so nothing. Guess this is the last one.
Would you be interested?
That I like.
Okay.
Won't you come down?
Come down? Why for? No, I do not.
Are you sure you don't want me?
Trust you.
Won't you come down?
Come down?
There's an odd little creature dangling from that tree branch.
Rip. Alright. So we need to figure out what we need to have him trust us. Excuse me. Alright, can we put the hole in the wall?
Using that on the wall would not help anything. Using that on the wall...
No. Alright, so I'm thinking we need the shield for this. What other walls could we put him on? There's the wall over by the castle.
Alexander pulls...
There wasn't really a wall at the Sacred Mountain unless we can see through the labyrinth. The catacombs.
Alexander feels...
Let's try the Isle Crown. No, I do not. I bet you he's a dangling participle. The way he's talking. I bet you that's what we need for the rare book.
A group of serving women approach
Whoa.
the castle.
Hurry up, girls. There's plenty of work afoot today. No time to
That's
dawdle.
way we can sneak into the castle, I bet.
Yes, Sergeant Gruff.
It's well that they're here, Wolf. Cook is about driven himself mad, I hear, worrying over the wedding preparations.
Aye, whoop! What a celebration there will be today! Wine will flow like a river of red!
Today? Alright, so will the hole work here?
Alexander puts the hole in the wall on the side wall of the castle.
Nice.
Alexander looks through the hole in the wall. The castle hallways are patrolled by guard dogs. Great. Maybe Alexander is better off out here after all. Alexander removes the hole in...
Okay, so we can remove it again. That's good. Alright, so I think it's now trying to figure out where we need to be. Like, things have been activating now that we've been talking to people. I'm worried we don't have everything that we need for the catacombs. Alright, we got water now in our inventory.
Alexander feels a...
Let's try going back to the Alvander. And let's save, because we haven't done that in a bit.
Do you have anything interesting yet?
A regular abnormality?
Let me see
That's
what
an
I have.
oxymoron. Got it.
Are you sure there isn't something else I can trade you for a rare book?
Nope. Unless you have one of the items I asked about before, I just won't part with one of my books.
We need that dangling participle.
Well, I hardly
Wonder what the stick and the bump are. Let's save. Can we go out in that?
The swampy bog sinks beneath Alexander's weight. He feels himself being sucked slowly but firmly down into the muck.
Yep. We're gonna die.
As the marshy water fills Alexander's mouth, he thinks that although he'd always wanted to try a mud bath, this is hardly what he had in mind.
Restore.
The bump on the log does not look particularly interesting to Alexander.
So we can't walk across there. Maybe...
Alexander sees no reason. What would a dogwood tree do with...
Maybe we can
It's
calm...
pointless to use that on the
calm the...
Alexander plays a lovely little tune on the flute. Alexander considers climbing the tree. And quickly changes his mind.
My dear tree, is it
Mr. Bark is bad as your bite. Huh. Well, I think this is gonna be it for today because I gotta get to work. But We made some progress, I think, today. Oh, there's something in the water there.
A string of letters floats in the water. The letters spell out, "Where are you going?" Alexander's heard of alphabet soup, but this is ridiculous.
How's the water?
The blue ocean stretches on for as far as Alexander can see.
Okay. Oh, it's getting closer. I think this is what we need for the dangling participle. Yes. Okay, cool.
Alexander doesn't want to taste the salty. Alexander picks up the object floating in the water. It appears to be a string of letters. They say, "Where are you going?" Alexander decides to keep the odd sentence, even though it is incomplete. Alexander is carrying, oddly enough, a sentence.
Yeah, let's go to the Isle of the Beast. All right. I'm glad we saw that before we
Alexander pulls out. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
All right.
Alexander holds the sentence out to the creature.
This sentence seems in need of an ending. Perhaps you could finish it?
Where are you going? Where are you going? Know what I do? Where are you going to? Like you, I do. Go I with you.
Nice. Oh.
Well, that was certainly interesting. It looks like Alexander now has a passenger.
All right. Let's use our map again.
Alexander pulls. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
All right, let's save again. Whoa.
Do you have anything interesting yet? A preposition.
Let me see what I have.
I have a dangling participle.
I found this little fellow lost on another island.
Coming home I am too.
There you are, you naughty boy. I told you not to leave the island.
Glad I am seeing you too.
A most solemn celebration.
So, you found my dangling participle.
Nice.
I suppose I'll have to give you something. Let's see now. Was it a rare book you wanted?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Well, then none of these will do. They've been sitting in the sun far too long and must be well cooked by now. This one is far more rare. A delicious little tidbit.
Thanks.
Alright, what's this book? Oh, it's just rare.
Alexander is carrying a rare book from the bookworm. The words in the binding are very faint. The something something riddle book.
Ooh.
Alexander opens the rare book and looks inside. The book contains riddles and has a page missing. Alexander glances at a few of the conundrums, but finds himself more curious about the one that is missing.
Some of that was
What
love.
was the riddle, he wonders? More importantly, what was the answer?
The answer was love. So, riddle book. Love was down at the bottom. Cool. Alright. Note taken. Alright, let's go to the bookshop.
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
We'll check out what the book is. It's a spell book, right? So.
Alexander feels a...
Okay.
Hello? Now, what can I do for you?
Give him the rare book.
I found this rare book, and I thought of your offer.
Very interesting. Oh, it is a wonderful riddle book. Riddles are much more marketable than spells these days. I guess people believe more in mirth than in magic. Here is the spell book you wanted, and a fair trade it is, I must say. Enjoy it.
I certainly hope so. We shall see how rusty my spell casting truly is.
Okay. Let's look at this book real quick.
Alexander is carrying a book from the bookshop. The cover says, Ye Old Spell Book.
Magic paint, 1 cup of swamp ooze, river Styx water, black horse feather. Okay, so magic paint, black as ink, bring to life what I think, make it real, what I draw, according to the spoken law. So swamp ooze in cup, so we need a cup. Stir with horse feather, which we have. Apply to blank surface with artist's brush. Speak incantation. So I don't know what that's for, but we have wait, we need a brush too. Oops. Because we need to paint with it. Artist brush, yeah.
This is the first page.
Make rain spell. Salt water from the sea. Vial of sacred water. Falling water. Salt and sacred waters in a teapot. We don't have that either. Then add falling water. Speak an incantation over teapot to enchant. Heat to activate. Charming a creature of the night spell. A skull. Okay, so we know where the skull is. Full of hot oak embers. A bit of sulfur. Brimstone. 1 strand of pure-hearted maiden's hair. Huh.
This is the last page.
In presence of creature, speak incantation over the charming Creature of the Night spell. So I wonder if that's like the Minotaur. I don't know what the Make Rain spell would do. Shafts of Light, come and sup with me tonight. Waters 3, have eye for tea. Brew a tempest now for me. I don't know what the Magic Paint spell would do. Interesting. Okay, so we're gonna call this Magic Book. And that's gonna be it for today. Thanks guys for being here. We'll see you next time. If you haven't already, join the Discord for more shenanigans. And you might stream tonight or maybe tomorrow morning. So we'll see you guys then. Bye.